There is something I see over and over again with highly capable individuals. They don't lack information, they don't lack um, intelligence, they don't even lack desire, yet they hesitate. They don't do the thing that they know would move the needle forward. And this is not for one of laziness, that because they're lazy or because they're unmotivated or on undisciplined or whatever, is because knowing what to do and conditioned to do it are two different things. And when you can see the difference, when you can differentiate it, that self-judgment will start to ease away. If this landed for you, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification button when you're out there so that you don't miss any of this. Like, like, do you know what I mean? Like, because once you see it, once that self-judgment starts to go, with that, like, will start easing, it's because you have that realization, like, oh, I'm not failing here. I'm just doing this thing at a different level that I am supposed to. Because most of us, right, we've been taught that it is mind, body, spirit. So what you're thinking is what you're going to do, and what you've done, you then get that result, right? And then what tends to happen is when we do the thing and we don't follow through, then we then think, oh gosh, there is something wrong with us, that like that we've got issues. But what I've been taught is different. And it is actually how, and it matches how we function as human beings. It is mind, spirit, body, result. Because what we think creates how we feel. And that feeling tells the body and decides if something feels safe or not. And from that, the decision will be, okay, do I then go on and do this thing, or do I freeze at the thing? You know? Because when somebody knows what to do and they don't do it, this isn't necessarily a mindset issue or a discipline issue. It is a nervous system issue. It is like we see this thing as like, oh, when we can see the difference, right? It becomes, oh, it's not an attack on us. We can then now see, oh, okay, actually, we need to start working for ourselves with this awareness. Because what you're thinking is how you feel, and how you feel will create the doing, right? So they can get the results. So picture it this way. When you have how most of us actually normally do things is like we think, oh, okay, oh, I want to send that email. And then we want to send an email and we don't send it because we feel threatened or reject or whatever that thing might look, or what to be the situation of the sending, you know? Oh gosh, okay, I need to send this email. Okay, trying to send an email, but you can't send an email. It's that feeling, underneath feeling that's like ruminating there, and then you don't, and now think, oh, okay, oh, you feel bad that you don't, because that email in that moment feels like a threat. It feels like they're going to judge you or they're going to do all these things or whatever that is. But we really follow how we function as human beings. I want to send that email. Okay, how do I feel about sending this email right now? Because here, the mind, the spirit here is that emotional feeling, is that state of like how, what's that thing going on for us right now? So the email is what I want to send. How do I feel right now? Oh my gosh. They might judge me here, or they might think, or I don't know what they're going to say. So, like, okay. We then need to get a new, because now with that feeling of the judgment, the body's going to be like, I ain't sending this thing, it ain't happening. So we don't get the results, then we don't get the reply or whatever it is that we're wanting, the intention of the email. So we do nothing about it. So when we're thinking we want to send this email, right? We have that feeling of, oh, okay, this is I might get judged here. We need to go back to the feeling or the thinking of like, okay, um, what do I need to like, okay, what do I need to do to feel safe to send this email? We could then start thinking, oh, we're just sending information. It's not like a verdict here. We just want to gather some more information. Oh, we want to gather some more. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we can just open up the draft then. We start feeling like, oh, yeah, that's all right then. Okay, let's just open up and send a draft or send or put the information in or do whatever. Or it's just information gathering. Oh, send. So we do the action. We're doing the thing, and then yeah, it's gone. And then we get the results from whatever they say. So when we really like thinking about it, it's about what we're thinking is how we're gonna feel. And that feeling will determine the momentum. So when people say, oh, I know what to do, but I'm not doing it, it's because what they know, what they're feeling is not on par with the thing they want to do. So because of that, they stall. They know they need to show up. They need to put themselves out there. They need to go there and just tell the person how they feel. They need to like be proactive, but they don't feel, the feeling isn't matching the thought in that sense, or it's not producing the kind of like thoughts and feeling that they want. So it's not going to be a successful thing because like, oh, when we're going with the mind, body, spirit, or mind, body, resource, as some people will put it sometimes, it's like, yeah, you think the thought, my body would take the action, and then I'll get the results, is what we're thinking that is the right way. Because we know what to do, we just need to push ourselves, right? That's what the mind, body, spirit is saying. We'll push ourselves and we'll do it, we won't stop. And then we overthink the thing and it doesn't happen because we're not doing it in that right way, and then we call ourselves lazy, call ourselves inconsistent. We don't have the willpower, we're not disciplined, we don't know what we're doing, and oh, we just label, and then we then start feeling bad and we go back into this circle of like whatever that is, like, oh gosh, man, like I want this thing, I desire it, but like, ugh. Because we're not doing it properly how we truly are supposed to make this thing work, to make sure that our body feels safe to want to do it. We're missing that piece of the safety of how we should feel. Like we like sending this email thing. Yes, it sounds easy, but that threat feeling, that like shame or uncertainty, whatever it is that we're feeling that email represents, or that thing is going to showcase or whatever, we don't. Because the mind, yeah, the mind told me to do it, but the body ain't gonna move because the body doesn't feel like, man, we want to be safe, we want to be fine. We're not doing that. And then when we do it the right way, the body, how we supposed to function every single day and how it should work, the mind, spirit, body results. How we're thinking is how we're feeling, and how we're feeling is what we're doing, and that what we're doing will then give us that the thoughts will shape the way we feel, and it will then tell the body if it's okay, whether to then move or to protect us. And with that protection, we then create the results or that we want. Yeah. And the critical thing is knowing that this is how we're made up of, knowing that this is the right way of really like listening to that, the feeling, like this thing I'm thinking about, oh, I want to do this thing. How do I feel about like what's the feeling? Because that feeling would then be like, oh, this is gonna be like exhausting. Like I don't want to do this thing or whatever that thing. It is very, very important to understand that the body is listening to the emotional layers that we're feeling. The body is listening um to the thing that we are showcasing and we're proving on ourselves. Even though yes, we're highly capable, we're aware, we're very self-aware, and we have all this thing. Nothing is wrong with the thinking. It's more the emotional states of whether the safety is there or the or like or we're not. That's the key thing there that we truly have to understand that what I think is how I feel. And that feeling produces, and if the feeling isn't a one of the desire we want, then the body is not going to move. So we get to work with the feeling. We get to think about it because then we start beating ourselves up like, oh no, I'm not. Oh gosh, I don't know why I can never follow through. I never da, da, da. Because it's not a case that is the feeling that would, I was going to say control or whatever is the key thing. No, it's just more kind of like the awareness. Okay, I want to do this. How do I feel? Oh gosh, this feels like threatening. Okay, what do I need to think? Like, what do I need to think about so that this doesn't feel threatening? What's the deal? This is the muscle I'm building to show up for myself or to like get to a thing. Okay, we're just building a muscle here. All right, no, start feeling, yeah, it's part of the progress. We just do one baby step. Maybe we just like uh do a small line. Like if it's like a case of building a muscle or exercise or the thought of going to the gym is like, oh gosh, I just okay. Maybe just putting the shoe out there and just getting ready will be fine for today. And then okay, get all the different like it's what we're thinking when that feeling, we'll go back to the thinking, okay, what do I get to do to feel right, to then allow the body to do this? Because if we just say, oh yeah, I want to do this, regardless, if that feeling is not on par, on board with the intention, it tells us like, okay, no, this is threatening, this is whatever. Okay, fine. I'm feeling this. What do I need to think or to help change the state of what's going on right now? What do I get to do? So you notice and you go back and think about it, and then you get the right feeling, and then you do the action, and then you get the results. And this is where the work comes in. This is where the reassurance, this is where, like, whoopsie, hey, we have to remove that. This is where all those different elements and layers comes in place to help showcase us, to help us to really like support our movement. And my humans have just come back, and let's just make sure everybody is still and don't interrupt. So yeah, it is very vital that having a true understanding, and I would like to share how we can really, when we're thinking about it, to get us back into play. How I think, so I feel. As I feel, so I do. And as I do, so I have. When you understand those different aspects, then we're able to really start sh- showcasing and proving ourselves. You know, what I'm thinking, okay, what am I thinking right now? Because what I'm thinking, because if I tell you now, like, oh, think of a sad moment, like, think of something sad. Oh, you naturally just like, okay, you're down, you're feeling whatever. And then you're thinking and you start feeling, oh, okay, something, whatever, and the body goes in, and then you get the result. So having that understanding, having that knowing that the nervous system needs to be safe in this space, and for it to be safe, it depends on how we're feeling about whatever it is that we're thinking. Even though we have this thought of what we want, if the nervous system is not on par, regardless of whatever we're doing, we're not going to be able to get the results we want. So knowing how the thoughts were going, what are we thinking about our situation? Like, these people are going to judge me. How do we want people to feel or think about us? Then that would change how we're thinking, and that would change how we then show up, and that would change what we get to do so that we can get the results we want. So what next ever we're in that situation where we are lacking in some feeling or thinking, oh my goodness, I'm not disciplined, or I just need to improve my skill of, like, no, get to like feel like, what am I feeling right now? Am I feeling really worried or threatened, or what is showing up for me right now? And that feeling, we get to then think the thoughts that's going to support us in the progression of like what this gets to look like. Because when I was, in the feeling of like, okay, I want to be able to go out there and be in spaces that I haven't been before. And it's like a thought of like, oh my goodness, who do I know there? What's going on? Whatever. And changing that thought to, I'm thinking, oh, at least if I go and try it, I would know if I like this kind of things or not. That felt better in my body than going, oh, like, let's try a different domain. And it's like, ooh, I don't know what there. Having that feeling of like, oh, I don't know what they're like, oh, okay. At least when I go, it will be a case of, do I like this or don't I like this? Or would these people be, or whatever? And then I'll take from there. My body feelings better, safer, and was okay to then do the thing that would then make the thing show up better. And then I was able to then take that action. And then it's a now like, okay, how much of baby step or like deep or whatever? Because when people say, I want to like, oh, I want to make 20K, 50K months or whatever it is, oh, I want to land this job, we're saying it. But if the body is not feeling safe enough to be someone who makes that kind of money, there's no amount of trying to do the action we would do to get us to have that, to start doing the action that will give us the results of having those 20K months, 50K months, or whatever it is that we're designed. If we don't feel safe in self, if we are not like okay. So it's then being like, okay, what do I need to then, when we say, oh, I want to do this, and then the body is like, oh yeah, I want to. We're saying it, but we're like, oh. And then when we're doing the action, we start stalling or we go back to that ceiling. Remember, we talked about this the other time. It's about what do we, think about, okay, when I said I wanted to make this, I was feeling somehow. I was feeling like, man, and then you're kidding yourself here. Like, oh, what do you think you are? What's all that about? Okay, what do I need to think to start changing this feeling so that it's okay to be a kind of person that makes this kind of money or that does this kind of thing, that takes this kind of action? Taking it back that way to that thinking of, okay, how am I seeing myself right now? Do I see myself worthy to make that kind of money? Do I see myself as someone who is that does something like this? Do I see myself as this is how I show up? Okay, what do I need to do to see myself in that way? We will start thinking and start doing those things that will help us get to that point where we feel safe as someone who then makes that kind of money, as someone who is fine to do the thing. And then we can then start taking those daily, weekly, monthly action to then be able to start seeing the results, start seeing the momentum. So when we're thinking, and then we have the feeling, and we notice the feeling, work on those feeling so that it would then help us to get the right thoughts to feel safe to do the action. So when next we're in this situation, when next we're in this space of like, oh goodness, what do I no, just go back and rethink, ask ourselves questions, work what gets to what we need to do to feel safe. And for the body to then have that decision to know, yeah, we're good. And yes, this is how it works. This is how we function. This is the way we do the thing. Don't forget to like if you got to this point. And yeah, and comment and share if this is how you roll, or if you this is a new concept for you, or whatever that is. Let me know. Because we do this every single day. Nana here. Your voice matters, and it's your time to use it.